Welcome back to TheChainNetwork. Clear, honest education for anyone stepping into crypto and digital finance. No hype, no jargon left unexplained. Last time we looked at swaps and bridges and how assets move from one chain to another. Today we look at what all of that actually costs and why. Gas and fees. As always, this is education, not financial advice. We are explaining how these tools work, not telling you what to buy or when. Whenever you interact with a blockchain, whether you are moving stablecoins, swapping assets, or placing a limit order, you will meet a transaction cost. On smart contract networks like Ethereum, this cost is famously called a gas fee. To a beginner, these fees can feel like an annoying, unpredictable tax that changes every hour. But once you understand the reason behind them, they make complete sense. Gas is not an arbitrary charge designed to make someone rich. It is a vital, self-regulating mechanism that keeps the whole network alive, secure, and running smoothly. To understand what gas really represents, picture the UK electricity grid. When you boil a kettle, run the washing machine, or charge your phone, you are using measurable units of electricity. Your provider does not charge a flat rate per item. They bill you for the exact amount of energy those appliances consume. A blockchain works on the same principle. Every action you take needs computational energy from thousands of computers around the world that keep the network running. Sending a simple transaction from wallet A to wallet B is the digital equivalent of boiling a kettle. It takes very little effort, so it uses a tiny, fixed amount of gas. Performing a complex multi-step token swap is more like running an industrial laundry. It takes far more computing steps, so it naturally demands a higher amount of gas. The total fee you see on your screen is worked out by taking those required units of gas and multiplying them by the current market price of gas, measured in tiny fractions of the network's native coin, like Ether. And this is where the second parallel comes in: London rush hour and surge pricing. A blockchain can only fit a strictly limited number of transactions into each block, which is produced roughly every few seconds. That limited space is your road. When very few people are using the network, say 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning, there is plenty of room. The base fee drops right down and your transaction slides through for pennies. But when the market gets busy or a big event happens, thousands of people suddenly rush to use the same road at the same moment. Because the space inside each block cannot instantly expand to fit everyone, the network automatically raises the base price of gas to manage the queue. If you are in a real hurry, your wallet lets you attach an optional priority fee, which is simply a digital tip paid to the validators that secure the network. Just like offering a driver a bit extra to pick you up in a downpour, a higher tip encourages the computers to lift your transaction out of the queue and into the very next block. So how do you avoid overpaying? The useful thing about gas is that the price is driven by a live shifting marketplace, which means it follows fairly predictable patterns. Congestion tends to peak when the US and European markets overlap during the working week, and it tends to fall away in quiet hours, such as early at the weekend. If you do not need a transaction to go through this very second, there is rarely any need to send it during the busiest, most expensive window. Most wallets let you see the current gas price before you confirm, so you can simply check and wait for a calmer moment if it is high. There is also a technological answer to high fees, and it is worth understanding. In recent years, the ecosystem has built what are called Layer 2 networks. Think of them as high-speed commuter trains running above the crowded main road. These networks bundle thousands of individual transactions together into one package, compress the data, and send it down to the main blockchain in a single efficient batch. Because you are sharing the computational cost with thousands of other people at once, your individual fee can drop from a few pounds to a fraction of a single penny. This is why so much everyday activity has moved on to these low-cost networks. So that is gas and fees made clear. They are not a scam, they are simply the cost of a secure, decentralized network doing its job. And once you understand how the price moves, You can avoid paying more than you need to. Remember, this is education, not financial advice. If it helped, subscribe and search Chain Network to find the full set of guides. Next, we look at scams, phishing, and social engineering, and how to spot a trap before it costs you. I will see you there.